Hi, it's Robin Horsfall here. I thought I'd do a little chat today about Banner, Northern Ireland, and my part in it, or a small piece anyway. I'm going to put any links up at the end and in the description if people want to contact me. But today I'm just going to talk about a small part of the mission that I had in 1976-77. I was in Support Company 2 Para and deployed to the Ballymurphy in West Belfast. And for those of you that don't know anything about the Ballymurphy, it was one of the toughest Republican areas in Belfast and had been right from the very start. But we won't go into the reasons for that. I just want to tell you about something that happened to me on one particular night. It was early January 77, very, very cold, probably about 10 below, icy. And I was out on a patrol with under my patrol commander, Pete Light. There were 4 men in the patrol. And we were patrolling up at the Crumlin Whitecross Road junction where there was a Republican bar called Kelly's Bar. And on the opposite side of the road, there was a post office. And next to the post office, there was some waste ground. So we would regularly patrol around the outside of the post office alongside a wall. And on this night we did exactly the same thing, and we decided to take cover in the waste ground so that we could lay down fire and give cover to a patrol that was going into the bar itself, another 4-man group. And as I laid down in the dark, I rested the magazine of my SLR rifle onto the dirt, and instead of it having that soft spongy feel, it scraped against something metallic. So I scraped away with my left hand some of the dirt and saw the top of something metallic with a shape that gave me the impression that it was facing the wall of the post office that we regularly patrolled along, about 5 meters away. So I immediately jumped up and rushed round the corner to Pete and said, "Pete, I think there's a claymore mine there." In fact, I didn't. I said, "There is a claymore mine there." And I was just laying on it. He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes, I'm bloody sure. It's a claymore mine." So he then called in a report. And the commander of the patrol that was going to go into Kelly's Bar was a captain. And he came across and said, "Show me." And I said, "Well, it's over there." He said, "Take me to it." I said, "What for?" you know, there was me, 19-year-old paratrooper, talking to this 35-year-old captain and saying, we've had all this training about once you identify an explosive object, you do not go back to it. You call in the ammunition technical officer, Felix, and let him deal with it. No, he said, and he gave me the order, and we crawled across the ground towards this device, and he uncovered it a bit more, and it was clear that it was a bucket with a taped-on lid of cardboard, and he tied a piece of string to the handle of this galvanized bucket, and went back about 5 meters, and started to pull, and I got behind him and put my fingers in my ears and closed my eyes. He couldn't pull it out of the ground; it was too well buried. So he then decided to do what was the right thing in the first place and call in the ammunition technical officer. So the standby platoon was called out, and bearing in mind that it was January, it was wet, it was cold, it was icy, and there was an awful lot of bitching about having got called out at that time of the morning, because the guys worked very hard. You tended to do 2 hours on, 4 hours off, 4 hours on, 2 hours off on your patrols, so they wanted all the sleep they could get. And one corporal came up to me and sort of said, "Look, there's nothing there. It's probably empty. And when we get back, I'm going to give you a smack in the mouth, Horsfall." So, being sensible, I just kept quiet and solemnly slinked away. The technical officer came. He uncovered a galvanized bucket with 20 pounds of co-op explosive, 2 ounces of Frangex high explosive, an electric detonator, and all the big chunks of iron castings cut out of a car packed in on top, with silver paper and wadding on top of that, and a taped-on cardboard lid. And the wires extended all the way 200 meters into the turf lodge. And the indication was that they tried to initiate it, tried to set it off, but the cold, icy, wet weather had prevented the electrical charge from getting through to the detonator, and it hadn't gone off. We went back to barracks, and everybody simply really just forgot about it. But it was the only time in my time with the Paras that I actually got my name into Pegasus, the monthly journal that was put out by the Parachute Regiment, which was quite cool. I'm glad it didn't go off, and the guys told me, "Don't be big time. You're still okay. Nothing to get excited about." Northern Ireland, 2 Para, 1977, Ballymurphy. If you want to hear some more stories like this, I'll be putting them up in the next month. And as I say, the links are there. You can put Robin Horsfall into Google. You can put Robin Horsfall into the Wise Old Paratrooper.co.uk. And you can contact me directly if you want to ask any questions. All the best, guys. Take care.